Summer 2022 is here, and that means it is time to break out your freshest and most invigorating fragrances from your collection. I've got 8 here that I want to recommend to you guys that are not only long-lasting, they have great scent profiles, and they get me compliments. Let's talk about them. Before I get into the list, if you guys are new to this channel, or maybe you're not new, but you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It goes a long way in helping out the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications for all of my future uploads. So like I had mentioned, the criteria for this list, the fragrances have to be summertime appropriate. So things that are fresh, floral, citrusy, aromatic, that's what I'm looking for in the high summer heat. They have to last a long time. And then third and least important, I don't mind if they bring some compliments, but I know you guys sometimes are looking for fragrances that pull some compliments, so I definitely included those in this list. So let's get into it. Starting off the list, I don't think I have featured a fragrance from this house yet on the channel. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think I have. This one is Clementine, California by Atelier Cologne. This is a really bright and fresh, invigorating citrus with some floral accents. It's very strange because there's no florals mentioned in the note list for this, but I find this to be actually pretty floral. And I'm not sure exactly what that's coming from. Maybe it's that bright clementine, mandarin, juniper berry combination that kind of creates a floral accord. I'm not sure, but this is probably the brightest and freshest scent on the list. It's just a very happy, uplifting scent, and it lasts a long time. It leans a bit feminine. Otherwise, it might be a little bit higher on this list. It leans a little bit feminine, but it does seem like I get compliments a lot of times when I wear this. So I highly recommend it to you guys. It's one of the longer lasting ones from Atelier Cologne in my experience, which I'm kind of surprised by just because of the scent profile. But Clementine, California has been a mainstay in my collection for the past couple of years, and I'm excited to wear it all of this summer. Clementine, California by Atelier Cologne. Coming up next, we have a fragrance from an indie house that many of you are probably familiar with. This is one of the larger indie houses, and it has just been such an amazing scent to have in my collection. I'm talking about St. Julep by Imaginary Authors. This is sugary sweet. It's boozy. It's inspired by a mint julep. So it does have that minty, boozy kind of a feel to it. There's a little note list on the back here, so I'll read it to you. Sweet mint, tangerine, southern magnolia, bourbon, grisalva, sugar cube, and an imaginary note of crushed ice. Funnily enough, I do pick up on the crushed ice accord. It just has this very slightly ozonic feeling, like kind of a cooling type of a feel as well. So maybe it's coming from eucalyptus, I'm not sure, but St. Julep is incredible. One of my favorite scents on the list. It just doesn't last a ton of time, about 4 to 5 hours on the skin. So it's about $90 a bottle. I don't mind respraying it. I just wish it maybe lasted a little bit longer. If it did, it would be higher up on the list. But either way, I'm absolutely loving St. Julep for summer of 2022. I've been enjoying it the past couple of years since it's been in my collection, and yeah, can't recommend this enough. Josh Meyer crushed this fragrance, so good. Coming up next on the list, we have a designer fragrance, which designers are not often featured on my lists, but this is just one that I've had for the past 2 summers, and I just kind of can't imagine summer without it. Like, I've made a lot of memories with this. It's a perfect beach fragrance, and many of you, it's just a classic, so many of you are familiar with this. This is the newest kind of iteration of the light blue line. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. I should clarify, this isn't the newest iteration necessarily. There have been summer flankers that are like limited edition, but this is kind of the more obviously intense version of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, and I just love it. It's got that salty, woody, ambroxan feel to it. You guys are familiar with this. It just works, and this version, this Eau Intense version, lasts a great amount of time, 6 to 8 hours on the skin, good projection, good sillage. It takes the original DNA, which is very apparent in here, and just amps it up. It's got that amberwood accord, which is kind of what I believe is a high potency ambroxan. So you definitely get that salty, kind of feel. And it's just really great. It smells like fresh sea air. In a way, it's more like refined fresh sea air. I have another fragrance on this list that is in the niche category that also is that refined sea air type of a thing, but this is that for the designer world. And I have a 50 ml bottle of it. I haven't put that much of a dent in it, but I have a feeling when the summer is over, I will have put a sizable dent in this. I have the 50 ml. When I run out of it, I'll probably grab the 100 ml. Compliments just never fails with this one. So definitely recommend it. Long lasting, compliment getter, tried and true. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. Hopping back over to the niche side of things, we have a fragrance by the company Mancera, and this is Oud Lemon Mint. There we go. This one is just this is the longest lasting scent on this list. It's so powerful. It is just this kind of bright, zingy, woody fragrance. It features the note of oud, obviously, which is very unique for a summer appropriate fragrance. It kind of has this honeyed effect in the opening. I get this very kind of thick, sweet honey type of a feel, but as that dries down, you kind of get the sharp citrus woodiness. I don't believe mint is listed in here, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it does have, I guess it hints at mint, if that makes sense. It's not as refreshing as some of the ones on this list. I might not wear this in the high summer heat, but when it comes to summer evenings, night outs, if you guys are going clubbing or you're going out with friends, just kind of, this is an amazing nightlife fragrance for the summer that gets you noticed big time. I've gotten some crazy compliments. I've gotten some like mildly inappropriate comments from human resources people. Okay, so if that tells you what this fragrance does to people, it works. It just works. So I'm a big fan of oud in fragrances. I hate kind of missing out on oud when it gets really warm and maybe I'm not wearing my dense, heavy oud forward fragrances, and this kind of fills that void. So Oud Lemon Mint by Mancera, highly recommend it. Can I help you? Look at this guy. That's Quincy, by the way. Can you get out of my shop, please? Love you, though. Next up, we have a fragrance from a company that is out of Istanbul, Turkey. This is Atelier by Nishante. This is one of the longest lasting aquatic fragrances on the market. Number one would have to be Mega Mare by Ordo Parisi. I have a tough time finding occasions for that fragrance because it is so monstrous. It's a one spray fragrance, and that is coming from somebody who oversprays fragrances. That is just, it's insanely beastly. This isn't far behind that, but I find this to be a little bit more dimensional, more refreshing, a bit sharper. I just prefer this over Mega Mare just because of the dimension and because it's a bit easier to wear in the high summer heat. Like, this is something that you want to reach for in the high summer heat. It kind of has a cooling effect. This is that refined sea air. It doesn't have that brininess, kind of like with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, but this is a much more multi-dimensional kind of niche version of the aquatic genre. But I love this so much. There's things like cardamom in here and basil and licorice, which is a really unique accord to have in an aquatic fragrance, but it really helps kind of bolster the longevity, and it doesn't get in the way of the freshness of this scent. It's still very green, very aquatic. It really does kind of separate itself, and those darker notes are detectable, but it is still true, like through and through, a very green, salty, aquatic scent that lasts a long time. And I think because of the performance, it does get some attention from people. I haven't had this too long. I've had it about 2 months, maybe, month and a half. And I have received 2 compliments unsolicited with this one. So Nishante, you guys know, it's a great brand. They make really long lasting and unique fragrances. And this one is definitely appropriate for that summertime feel. Like it's something you're gonna wanna reach for to keep you feeling refreshed. Highly recommend Atelier by Nishante. Coming up next, we have a fragrance from a brand that is not so niche anymore. It really is everywhere. A lot of people wear this brand. This is maybe not the most popular scent in the line, but it is certainly the best for summer. I'm talking about Bergamot 22 by Le Labo. This one is probably the best citrus fragrance that I have ever tried. There are fragrances in the niche genre like Neo by Xerjoff. That's an amazing citrus, and they share some similarities. But this is just bright and uplifting and sparkly and musky on the dry down. It's a long-lasting citrus, which I love it. It does have some change over time from the opening to the dry down. It just really does kind of head towards that slightly sweet, musky base. And I'm holding it backwards. I've just loved this for years. I've had this bottle since 2018, and I am almost out of it. So it is about time to refill this. This will be my last summer with this bottle, and then I'll get it refilled, but I will never be without this in my collection. It's just a summertime staple, and definitely recommend that you check out Bergamot 22 by Le Labo. Moving right along, we have a newcomer to my collection. I discovered it recently after hearing a tremendous amount of hype online. It just seems like every time I would go onto like the Facebook groups, people were talking about this fragrance. They were buying it, they were selling it, they were hyping it up. And so when I walked into Bloomingdale's and saw that they had it there, I at least had to check it out for myself and see what it was all about. I'm talking about Tigar by Bulgari. First of all, look at this bottle. It's absolutely stunning. The cap there. This is from the Elysium collection by Bulgari. So it's that higher price point, more private blend kind of a line. This is a fresh, sharp, woody grapefruit scent with a ton of ambroxan. I mean, it is a blast of ambroxan, but it's very zingy with that grapefruit and the ginger combination. I also detect some slight incense qualities to this. It's not listed, but I kind of get this dark, ever so slightly smoky undertone to the scent. Overall, this is very simple. A lot of people would say that this is not worth that high $350 price tag. I guess I could see an argument for that, but at the same time, this just works for me. Like, it works. Compliments with this are great. Longevity is great. And sometimes in the summertime, I'm not looking for complexity. I'm looking for something that is uplifting, that's going to last, 6, 8+ hours. And this does it. And paired with this packaging, like I'm loving Tigar by Bulgari. So this will be in my collection for years to come. Tigar by Bulgari. All right, last but certainly not least, this thing is my pride and joy. I love this fragrance so much. It is just everything that I look for in a summer fragrance. It's masculine and assertive, and it lasts a long time on me, and it's from a company that I respect greatly, as some of you guys might know. I'm talking about Elysium by Roja Parfums. This is masculine and aromatic. It's got aromatic qualities. It is just one of the best citrus fragrances that I have ever tried. A lot of people compare this to Aventus. I can see the comparison. Maybe this wouldn't exist without the success of Aventus. I don't know. But to me, I prefer this. This has a more unique quality. If you're looking for an alternative to Creed Aventus that is actually cheaper per ml, this is a 100 ml bottle that's $290. Aventus is $455. I just find this to be a better fragrance. It's got some thyme in it, which kind of gives it this herbal quality. It's got really bright, sparkling bergamot and like a bouquet of citruses when you first spray this on. The note list on this is just crazy. In my review, I'll do the whole like note breakdown so you guys can see just how long it is, or maybe look it up for yourselves to see. This is a very highly complex bright citrus fragrance. I wouldn't say the scent profile itself is complex. There's just a tremendous amount of notes. So Roja is one of my favorite companies, from the quality of the scents to the packaging to how kind of exclusive the fragrances are. And Elysium, I'm not kidding. Every time I get a compliment. The other day I wore this, as a matter of fact, and I met up with some friends. One of the girls that was there complimented me and said, "Oh my gosh, whatever cologne you're wearing, it just works for you. It smells so good." A group of us went out, and so like 30 minutes after she had complimented me, I go up to the bar, and a guy standing there, and he like taps me on the arm and says, "What cologne are you wearing? Because it smells fantastic. It just smells so good, I couldn't not say something." End quote. Whenever I get a compliment like that on a fragrance, it's something that I cannot help but recommend. So Elysium by Roja Parfums is one that if you're a fan of fragrance, if you like fresh, bright, masculine, assertive scents, and you're looking for compliments, look no further than Roja Parfums for summer 2022, an absolute banger. That's it for my summer 2022 list. Those 8 fragrances are going to consistently be in my rotation all summer long, but I wanna know what you guys are wearing. Are you wearing any of the ones that I mentioned? Have you tried any of these? I wanna hear your summer lists. Let's get a conversation started down in the comment section, and I will see you guys soon.